2018, Joe invited me to a conference in Hungary. I knew nobody at the conference, and a man came to me and gave a prophetic word, which I recorded. I kept it for a few years in my pocket, didn't share it with somebody, but I prayed into it. I went to that conference with a question in my heart. I said, Lord, is what we are doing now, is that it? I'm very happy, and I can do this till I die, and it will be more than enough. But I'm asking, is this what you want us to steward? The person said, I saw in my spirit a flywheel. And a flywheel, initially it takes a lot of effort to turn, but once it got the momentum, it keeps going. And he said, and I see that kind of momentum coming over you. And it will be beyond your ability to contain and control. It will be like the first servants, where Jesus turned the water into wine. They were the first ones to witness this miracle. It will be that sense of knowing where you look Jesus in the eye and say, we did it, with awe of who He is. That helped us to take this flywheel prophecy and formulate who we are.
And we started understanding that God is knitting together these three things. We are in education for a purpose, a redemptive purpose, of finding a new way of raising up the next generation, discipling them, shaping the leaders. But God has also made us missional from the very start, to be outward focused, to see the kingdom come and people receiving this kind of love of the Lord. And He's made us community. We are never to be alone. Even God in His very nature is three in one. God is community in His very nature.
If we say who we are is we're making disciples and we shape leaders to look like Christ and to become like Christ. He's the center of what we're doing. And we have 5 core values that we rephrased from that first year after we came back. Those values bind us together. In all the different programs and projects we're doing, that's still the DNA of Global Challenge.
Anne-Marie, though she would never call herself a prophet, probably said one of the most prophetic things I've ever heard. She started the year off saying, from a change of a decade to a decade of change.
We have many events. We love a party. We named the party Changing Decades to the Decade of Change. Now, if that was not a very spot-on theme, I don't know, because 3 months later, the whole world stopped and the decade of change happened with COVID.
But in that space of God's busy doing something, the world's changing, I started speaking to my husband about land. I just said to him, I feel like we need to buy land. We need to cultivate soil. So we were blessed with a beautiful piece of land that we are busy cultivating in a space where we feel the Lord will minister to many nations that will come here to encounter the presence of the Lord. This would also be a place where we will learn to cultivate our own food and also teach the next generation to live off the land.
There is a balm in Gilead. It comes like wisdom, speaks like children. It's a sight to the blind and a strength to my
There's the story where a widow did something for Jesus and He said, wherever the gospel will be preached, her name will be known. That lady in our story was Tanifili. If ever there was a shack to be built or repaired or a building project, Tanifili would be the first with her spade, and she would lecture our guys at how slow we are mixing daga and that we should just follow her lead. During COVID, Tannie Philly fell deathly ill, and we saw her slowly deteriorating. In the early morning hours, the sister checked her oxygen level and said it's 30%. And when Tannie Philly heard that, she opened her arms and she said, "Here I come, Jesus." And she turned on her side and she looked at her little garden through the window. And there she closed her eyes and she passed from this life to that.
If you would ask me what is Global Challenge now, I would say it is a flywheel, it is a set of values, but it's also still an organic space. Over the last few years, a couple of new initiatives that emerged was the village. We bought the adjacent piece of land and Jake's our architect, designed beautiful houses, and we are building a village of 56 houses. We were looking at these missionaries that come back and where do they stay? And I had all these wonderful young people because I am so privileged to work with amazing people. I wanted them to have access to ownership of property. And we started a technical school and still many other things that is coming. So we are excited for the future.
Before anything was built, there was already a set apart land for the orphans. I remember saying to her, "Anne, I feel like the Lord's calling us to build a house and to create a safe space for babies or children." She said, "Well, I'm going to set aside a piece of ground for this." And now to stand and see how it's being built, and I can't wait for the first little body to come and lie there and know that it is safe, that it is held in the everlasting arms of the Father, and it is not adrift in a sea of chaos.
So with everything going on at Global, the one-year journey has been the heartbeat of Global for so many years, for 20 years now. And still today, we have sent 19 young people all around the world to go and serve, love, and be God seekers wherever they go in the nations. And we are so excited to see how the Lord is still developing and changing these young people to become leaders and disciple makers of tomorrow.
It's one thing to go on a God-seeking lifestyle for a year, and it's another thing to live it out in a community where they see you every day and for the long run. And that's what God has called us to be an authentic community where we know if I'm in trouble, somebody will have my back.
With Joe's advice, he really started urging us to take up the responsibility of caring for the people that God has put under our house. A steady stream of people were coming here, and he challenged us that it is not someone else's work or obligation or anointing to shepherd, but ours. They were coming to us. And so we've more formally started stating ourselves as church and creating more spaces for prayer and celebration. And with that also created the opportunity, many doors for people to enter into this faith community.
This is the place where I'm standing. It's an ocean view, Jeffreys Bay. This is a community that God led me to. I came here through a friend, Sam, whom I met in the streets. And Sam introduced me to his house, to his family, and the next minute I was meeting his friends. And I realized his friends were in gangs. So I felt the Lord just saying to my heart, I need to walk with these guys. The more I knew them, the more I could get to know their parents. And with their parents, now we have a soup kitchen going, and these guys' parents are the ones cooking in the soup kitchen. And these guys now who are gangs are helping out. And then the Lord gave us this place where I'm standing. I started to put a fence around this place. I'm painting this house, trying to make it look like welcoming to the community. So where I'm standing now, I think is the future mission place, base for this community, where these gangs can be reaching back to the community.
So we thank everyone that's contributed throughout the years, from the very small and very little time to being here for the full 20 years. Without those partners, it would be impossible. You would be absolutely limited in what you can do. But we really believe that the Lord brings those people together to bring it to a final picture and something like what Global Challenge is today.
What God did was He built a school, He built businesses, but it's not the real things. He knitted a body together. He gave us friends. He gave us belonging. He gave us identity.
The way we started was together with a group of young people. And they took ownership. And that's my advice to anyone that wants to start something. Start it together. Because therein lies your succession. Because I have no doubt that I have a team of very capable young people. And if I look at their children, I see a generation behind them who will be carrying it forward till Jesus wants it to be an expression of His kingdom on earth.
Today, I count myself privileged to have been a part of this grand story of how God has used ordinary people to do some extraordinary things. So it really feels like living in biblical times.
My name is Erna, and the people who know me band me towards the last chapter of this series because they know my most favorite hiking trail is along memory lane. I would, however, this time try and keep it short. If you have capacity for more stories, lay your hands on the first volume of Celebrate, a frail effort by people who have, in obedience, sat down, capturing stories of the previous 20 years, and give glory to the God for 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, and to eternity, because He deserves all our glory.